Hello and welcome to Sound Dada podcast. I am Malay, and today we are with someone who is a true master of his craft. He plays the saxophone beautifully and can create music on the spot. My guest today is a fantastic saxophonist and composer. He comes from a legendary musical family and has traveled the entire world sharing his amazing talent. Jarryd, welcome to the show. So glad to have you here on Sound Dada.
Thanks for having me, man.
So, before starting, I would like to ask you why saxophone?
Yeah.
How did you pick up the instrument? And like, what was that first time okay, I want to play sax only?
Right. So actually, it started very late. I started on the piano when I was
Oh.
little because my dad was a pianist and a keyboard
Oh.
player. So I started piano when I was at the age of 6.
Hmm.
Both my brother and I started together.
Hmm.
And then the years went by, and then when I was 13, that's when my dad said, okay, now y'all both need to learn some wind instruments because your granddad's a saxophonist
Yeah.
and a flautist as well.
Oh.
So then I picked up the saxophone and my brother picked up the flute. And then
The English flute.
yeah, the Western flute, yeah. So then, but then we like never really took it seriously because school, and then we had other dreams. I mean,
Like?
I had the dream of becoming a pilot first.
What? No way, really?
Yeah, really.
Amazing.
And then an aerospace engineer. But
Something
then,
to do with wind.
yeah.
Nice.
So then, I would constantly still, even in school and college, I would take part in musical competitions and talent competitions. My parents made sure that our extracurricular activities were also going in sports and stuff. So I realized that I enjoyed doing that a lot. And then I realized, like, yeah, this is what I want to do actually. Music is something that I want to do. It was also, I wanted to get into writing, production, to playing live. And then just like right after college, because my mom wanted me to do a degree first. She's like, better get that degree down, and then you do music.
Nice.
So after I finished my college, that's when I actually like took it up seriously. Since the age of 20, I think. So that's how it came about.
How did you get into playing with like other band members, or like what was that moment? Quirky, you started playing and then you formed a band. What was that moment you started playing for an audience?
Right. So when I was learning only, I mean, after college, my dad said, "Why don't you join a band?" Like it was actually a friend of his who also happens to be Reese's dad,
Oh,
Bosco D'Souza.
okay.
Who's
Reese?
Reese is a saxophonist.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, he heads this group called Bombay Brass.
Okay.
I mean, I've heard about Reese before I started playing also because he was kind of active in the scene. And then his dad would regularly play at this place called Kavala in Goa.
Oh, okay.
And then an opportunity came. In fact, they were looking for a sax player. So then my dad said, "Why don't you go and join them?" Because when learning, what's important also the part of like learning. I mean, it's part of learning is like playing this music live because it's improvisation based and stuff.
Yeah.
So to get that stage experience, to get that feel of playing live, is something that my dad thought was important. So that's when I started playing, and it was a regular gig. So it was every Sunday. So that
Nice.
gave me a lot of that helped my learning process a lot.
So it wasn't from the. So when did Bombay Brass happen?
Bombay Brass happened years later. In fact, the first time I played with Bombay Brass was with you guys.
Really?
That was the first time.
No way.
Yeah, that was the
Seriously?
first time I was ever associated with Bombay Brass.
Wow.
Was the Wanderlings Bombay Brass gig at NCPA.
I have no idea. I didn't have any idea about this.
Yeah.
Wow,
It was a crazy one because it was such a memorable gig also.
Yeah, that was of course. I mean, your life changed after that. Insider joke.
Even then, it was a great gig, and I remember I was in Europe that time. I was touring with my granddad and my grandmom. Actually, we were doing a series of shows
So
there.
your grandmom also plays?
My grandma's a singer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Reese just hit me up with this message. He's like, "Hey, we have this gig. It's a Bombay Brass gig coming up." And I was still in Goa then, so Reese was like, "Can you make it?" And I said, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll do it and all that." And then it happened. Bombay Brass happened after that. Easy
Wow.
Modelings happened also after that.
Wow.
It
Yeah.
was- it
Now
was
he's
great.
a regular. Okay. So, can you tell me a little bit about Many Roots? Like, what happened? Like, how did you get into playing with Many Roots and all?
Right. So this was back in 2019, 2018, 2019. Yeah. I think the end of 2018 when I just moved to Bombay, just moved back to Bombay. So I was in Bombay. I was born and brought up in Bombay. Grew up in Goa shifted to Goa for a couple of years, and
Best
then
of two worlds.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then came back to Bombay because my parents believed that Bombay is the land of opportunities and all that. So I came in I think September 2018. Just got back into. I mean, just got here, and then Subid hit me up, who's the guitarist for Many Roots
Khan
Ensemble. Yeah. And he hit me up and he said, "Hey man, why don't you join us on this gig? We have these 2 gigs coming up. One was a private gig, like this gig on a boat. It was some boat launch that was happening, and one was a gig at Levi's Lounge, which was part of Blue Frog earlier. I mean, not Levi's Lounge, but in that same area." So I said, "Yeah, man, I'm down for it." And we got together. Like, he gave me this list of tunes, and that time I was a complete jazz head, dude. Like, so for me, it was only like jazz standards, and I'm only gonna play all this stuff and all. So when I got introduced to Afrobeat, it was a whole different world. So I'm like, how do I approach this music? You know, it was very different. But when I got to listening to it and got to playing it, I had so much fun, dude. Like, it was the most fun I've had playing music, you know. So then, that's how I kind of like got acquainted with them, and they are also a fun bunch of people, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, it was a just a win-win. Like, it was like fun music to play, fun people to hang out with.
Yeah.
And that's how I got playing with them. And then the second gig was with Shirish, who had actually recommended me to them.
Okay.
And then he also became like this huge part of my life, because like he then became a mentor to me.
Nice.
Because then he sort of like pinpointed things that I needed to work on. And he's like, yeah, him being a sax player himself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he like took me under his wing and gave me a lot of information and teaching that I probably didn't get with my granddad, because also my granddad was self-taught, right?
Correct.
So Shirish had some, he had a different approach and understanding to the instrument, which I got to learn from him, and I'm like really grateful for. So,
Nice.
and then it was, then we used to, I was playing regularly with the boys, and then became a part of their band eventually, and then writing stuff together and making music together. It's been a fun experience.
Nice. Are you self-taught?
I'm mostly self-taught, yeah.
Really?
In the sense that I've had my granddad as a teacher,
yeah,
my dad as a piano teacher, and Shirish also has taught me
As
quite
a
a
mentor,
quite a bunch of
So
things.
everything is self-taught.
Yeah, I
You didn't
never
go to a
had
music school
I never
or-
went to a music school.
Never.
Never.
Wow.
Yeah, I had a music school at home.
Yeah.
Basically that. But yeah, it's been mainly self-taught. Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. Blessed.
Yeah, blessed.
Yes.
That's what I'll say.
Yes. While playing, so self-taught, it has its challenges, right?
Yeah.
While playing, and jazz is mostly about like improvisation and
Yeah.
all of that. You do your practice, you develop your skill, and then you improvise, right? Like, even when you play with like different bands and all, what was that moment, okay, in improvisation, when you had put your like skills into improvisation, that you realized, oh, this is improvisation, or this is what like felt like a flow.
Yeah.
When did that transition happen from like learning scales or learning like theory to like, do you remember it, or it was very young?
Vaguely. I think it was around the time of, obviously, when I was playing more.
Yeah.
When you play more, you start to feel like, you start to notice everything that's happening around you also in terms of the other musicians, how they are uh, kind of supporting you
Correct.
and stuff like that. Because improvisation, I mean, it's a to and fro thing. It's a it's like a interactive
Conversation.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah.
So you're feeding off what you're hearing, and then
Yeah.
you're playing
Yeah.
off that.
Yeah.
Yeah, initially, yeah. I mean, because I was practicing scales, because I was
Yeah.
doing arpeggios and all that, so I would kind of incorporate all that into my playing. So
Yeah.
it was mindless improvisation. It was
Yeah.
like, just exercise based.
Yeah.
But then when you play more, I think it just happened gradually. Like, I was like, okay, fine. This is what works. This is what doesn't work. And got to play what I'm listening to rather than just like seeing what's on the chord chart or seeing what's on the chart and then just playing off that. That's more of a guide, but it's not your, it's not sheet music.
Okay.
I mean, it's not, you're not supposed to play that. It's not,
Yeah.
compulsory or mandatory. So yeah, I mean, it was then that I just playing more, you can kind of get to transition, get into that flow, and then start playing what you're listening to. When you're understanding the music more, also.
Nice.
Yeah.
When you improvise,
Yeah.
so you have your theory down, right? Like in the back of your head.
Yeah. See,
But-
basic theory.
Yeah, basic theory. Do you go with like a head first approach or a heart, like a feel based approach?
Feel based.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, it's more feel based. It's what the mood is, where the intensity lies, what I'm feeling at that moment.
Does it translate into music? Like, say, suppose if you have had a tough day at like throughout the day, like, and your mood is not that great, and you have a gig.
Yeah.
Like, how do you pull that off?
I've not noticed it transition like happen.
Okay.
But maybe it has. I also have this. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I think maybe it does.
It
But
does?
I've not really like realized
Oh, okay.
that happened. Yeah.
Do you feel nervous on stage when you get up? Still,
At times, yeah. If the music is really challenging.
what is challenging for you?
Oh, I've played some I've played some really challenging sets where. One was with Latination, I would say. Latination music. It's this band that's just started. I mean, it was there for a long time. Started by this percussion player, French musician, Emmanuel Simon. And then, he's written some great compositions, but also like some very challenging stuff to like play.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah, I would say I was nervous, especially when you're playing that first gig. When you're playing new material and when it's challenging material, that's always gonna be like nerve wracking.
Were you nervous at the NCPA gig that you played?
With Bombay Brass? I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, it was
It was quite easy.
I wouldn't say easy,
Yeah.
but it was comfortable.
Quite comfortable.
Yeah. It
Let's
was.
put it that way.
Yeah. I think I had
Nice. What was
I
the-
just had fun actually. At that
What is the
NCPA
most
gig.
challenging time you have had on stage? What are some of the challenges that horn players or like musicians face on stage? And how do you generally overcome that?
When your instrument fails, dude? I think that was like a challenge. I had a moment in the UK when my sax just gave way. Like,
As in, what do you mean? What
so
happened?
I mean, the saxophone being an like intricate instrument,
Huh.
especially like with how it's built,
Huh.
it has all these pads and screws and that are kind of like put together. So when a pad fails, your entire instrument is like either your entire instrument fails or like a series of notes doesn't work.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it happened to me at a gig, and luckily it happened in a song that I wasn't playing. Right.
Wow.
So I had the time to like get off stage, try and solve the problem, and then they were like, it almost came to a point where they had to tell the main artist that he's not going to play the gig. Like he can't play the gig
Wow.
at that point. And they said like he got a note and everything saying that, oh, this is not going to the saxophone player's out. At the very last second, I managed to fix it.
Wow.
Somehow, I don't know. It was just one pad there was something that was like stuck, and I just had to kind of readjust it or something like that. And then the pad was closing properly, managed to do it, got back on stage in time for the song, that is obviously a challenge. And yeah, mainly also being an acoustic instrument, maybe listening, like sometimes if the stage is too loud, if it's a small stage and if you got amps and everything and a drum kit around you, listening to yourself can be a thing. So yeah, making sure I get good monitoring, or now I got something called a reflector, which basically gets the sound back to me. So
Oh yeah?
yeah,
What is this technology? Is it?
it's not. It's just a like sort of a plastic circular thing which you attach to the bell of the instrument,
Oh.
and then it kind of reflects that sound back to you. So
Oh, so it doesn't throw out. Like it throws out, but it comes
yeah,
back.
it's
in.
got like a small hole just there, so then the sound can go out, but you also get the sound coming back to you.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay. Is it a new thing?
it's been there for some time. I think it's been there for about 6 to 8 years, maybe.
Oh, so it's pretty new. I mean, it's not like it's like been there for
Yeah.
decades and
Yeah.
okay. How much of playing spontaneous in jazz versus something planned in jazz is like how much of it is planned? Like,
Right.
like this is spontaneous. This
Yeah.
is your solo. This is you do whatever you want. Here you get 16 bars. Here you get 8 bars. Go wild.
Right. So, I mean, when it comes to jazz standards, if you're playing a regular jazz gig,
Sorry, I'm just gonna go one question. You said jazz standard.
Yeah.
What is a jazz
so
standard?
jazz standards is basically a jazz tune. So you have this, they had this thing back in the day called the Great American Songbook, where a bunch of tunes were written, taken from like musicals and from, basically music that was happening back in the day from musicals, films, theater, all that. And then it got kind of compiled into this big list or a book called the Great American Songbook. So tunes from there are mainly basically called jazz standards.
So it's a standard way of playing those tunes.
It's not a standard way of playing it. It's just standards is just another word for
Word for
tune.
it. Disgusting.
But
Okay.
like tunes like Autumn Leaves or Fly Me to the
correct,
Moon, all these are part of that
Yes.
songbook.
Yes.
And then that's where, so then what would jazz musicians do is kind of just take these tunes out and then play them and improvise on them and do their own take on them. Possibly even rearrange them, But that's what jazz standards are. So when we go to, like, say, a regular jazz standard gig, we just pick out these tunes and then we sort of play them, And then, of course, improvisation is always going to be different, right? It's not going to be the same. You're not going to solo. It's not like you memorized a solo and you're going to play it. It's not like a slash solo that you've kind of come learning and then you're going to play that iconic solo. It's different each time.
Yeah.
So what we have, which is pretty set, is the structure of the song. Okay, so I mean, you have the tune that's being played first, so that's called the head, right? The melody, the main melody of the song.
yeah.
So you play that first, which kind of sets the structure, which forms the structure of the song, and then each instrumentalist sort of takes a solo over that structure.
Got it.
Okay, and then the structure is made up of a series of chord changes and chord progressions that happen.
Which are also defined or no?
Those are defined. Yeah,
But you can play around. Those.
you can play around it. So I mean, yeah, you're playing based on the changes, right? You're trying to hit those changes and hit the chord tones around it.
Got it.
So yeah, and then of course, then you get into that is one way of like playing it, and then you play the head again, which is called the head out, and then you end the song. You have like a set ending or the discussed ending of the song. So that's how like normally a jazz gig goes. But then you also have, I mean, when it comes to say arrangement based music, you also have that. So like Latin Nation, for example. I mean, Emmanuel's written tunes where he's got the melody first down, but then he also has different sections. So then he'll have one section of the song. So say you play the entire theme or the head of the song. Then it goes to improvisational section, which could be based off the chord changes, but also not based, but it's around that. But then you have a set number of changes again. The instrumentalist plays that. And then it goes to different sections. Then, he has something like maybe like a trade, like a drum and a percussion and drum trade, or like a percussion and piano trade. Then you have like, and then it goes to maybe like a more intense section, and then comes back to the theme of the song, and then has
The
a
head out.
set ending also. Like he has a
Oh.
specific ending for the song. Something that we also do with many roots,
Okay.
time and again. Like, you know, we have this tune called Black Indian.
Hmm.
Yeah, you mixed it.
Yeah.
you know. So that song has, you know, various sections. Like it starts with like a very heavy groove bass line, and then goes to a head, and then has the solos around that head,
Yes.
goes into like a more
Yeah.
trade thing, and then
Yeah.
so it can also be that. And that's the beauty about also, you know, the music, because I mean you can just have these pockets where
Yeah.
you can improvise and do your own thing. The space for a musician to just like express himself or herself. So that's great.
What's your take on modern jazz versus like the jazz older standards that were there, and like what has changed in modern jazz?
Earlier it would just be the theme playing head in, head out. And now and then like play the head and then go back. Some of it is still like that, but now it's mostly arrangement based. Like you have the theme and you have all that playing, but I think like now it's more arrangement based. Also trying to keep up with the listeners of today, where they can't really take 10-minute, you know, attention spans become low.
Yeah.
So, you know, the songs, I mean, they've tried to make songs more concise now. So, like, you'll have a short theme, then you'll have like an improvisation section, like how I mentioned, you know.
Yeah.
So, it's trying to keep it more engaging, obviously, in a way. I mean, if you listen to guys like, say, Kamasi Washington or Christian Scott,
Yeah.
Robert Glasper, right? It's not very, it's not very very long tracks.
Yeah.
I mean, you have them playing a short theme and then just improvising around it, or maybe another section, and then trying to keep it more engaging by, you know, some heavy drums or increasing intensity, decreasing intensity, dynamics, playing with dynamics,
I was
which
gonna
is
ask you about that.
very important also in the music. So yeah, it's not very like the olden days. It's not like very set and just around the main theme or structure. Now it's like evolving into more arrangement based stuff.
Got it.
Yeah.
So there are so many musicians playing, like, right, especially in a jazz ensemble, you can have many people coming in. So how do you understand, like, how do you play with silences? Like, say, let's talk about improvisation, for example, right?
Yeah.
Like, you have your part coming. And one of the most important parts in playing is also like giving space. It's
Yeah.
like space versus fill,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So how do you understand where to give that pause, or where to have a
Right.
silent bit, and where to build?
Right.
So what is your way of thinking?
Musicality first. I think that's the most important thing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's by just listening from all that you've listened to throughout the years, and like actively listening and gaining their insight and their approach to what the music is, and then building your own taste of that. That's what musicality is about, right? So I mean, yeah, just based on that, I mean, you're even then in that moment you're listening, and then if you feel it's the right moment to play, you will play it. If you don't feel it's the right moment, then you won't play it.
So
right?
when does that build? I mean, say suppose if I'm new,
Yeah.
when does that build? Like when do I get into it? Okay, like, because what oftentimes happens, say
Yeah.
suppose, like, you know, you're learning your skill, like say guitars for that matter, right? So if I'm taking a solo, I'll like, you know, just fill it up with like notes.
Yeah.
Right. So where do you feel okay, wait, pause, take a breather, pull this note longer or push it shorter? So what are these pockets that, how do you think of these pockets?
Yeah, like, so that's what, like, the first thing would be taste,
Okay.
musicality. Second is I mean, also you're trying to is also like kind of trying to sing these phrases. So when you're soloing, you're basically singing, right? So you're thinking of phrases, and not every phrase, like a sentence, has a start and end. So you'll know when to stop a sentence, and I'll know when to stop a sentence and start a sentence. So it's part of the language. I mean, it's like understanding the language, but also understanding, just approaching it as a conversation and saying that,
Nice.
okay, this is where I need to stop talking right now, and this is where I need to start talking. So that's about it. It's through intuition and through your musicality and taste and all these factors involved, and also like what's happening at the moment, then you kind of come to that decision whether.
Nice. You spoke something about music being like a language
Yeah.
of sentences, but every culture has got a different language,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then, like, culturally, music is also different.
Yeah.
Um, like, what are these challenging parts when it comes to different cultures? Like,
Yeah.
for example, if you're playing in a Latin ensemble versus, say, like Middle Eastern
Yeah.
versus, say, like South Indian
Yeah.
versus, say,
Yeah.
like a heavy metal or like American for that matter,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
country. Uh, versus jazz. So,
Yeah.
like, there are so many different genres of music, and then you are like, how do you put, like, in the beginning you said, this playing for this particular person was challenging because the sound was different, the arrangement was different. So how do you put in your sound or your instrument in these different culturally different musical languages?
Yeah, first is of course understanding the different music, the different cultures and different genres of music. I mean, when you're playing a different genre, you have to obviously do some homework and research and listen to it and understand what goes behind it. Uh, and then, of course, I mean, like, see, it happened to me when actually playing with Many Roots, because
Okay.
it was a huge shift for me to playing like jazz standards to then playing Afrobeat, which is like very groove based, right? So even then, I mean, Shirish himself like told me, like try and not think of how many notes to play, but rather think of what notes to play, but think of more like pocket, more of groove. Try and come up. It doesn't have to be a lot of notes; can just be motifs going
Yeah.
over and over, And then of course, then with say like something like folk music or with country music, it's more of like playing smooth mellow lines and more easy listening kind of a thing, and not too much. Right? Whereas like on a heavy metal gig, then you're thinking of like really going hardcore. So it's of course understanding all these different genres, listening to
Yeah.
them, and seeing what the music is about, and then but then it's also important to not lose your own touch and your own identity when it comes to, don't try to change yourself for the music. Try to see how your identity and your basically your sonic identity or your musical identity can make that music, can kind of complement that music, right? So it's like adding a touch of you into that music. So I think that's also important, is like not losing your distinctiveness and your identity to kind of cater to another music. Okay, it's of course important to understand that, but add your own touch, your own soul to that music, and then you can also make it beautiful like that way.
Nice. Um, you spoke about sound,
Yeah.
your own sound,
Yeah.
defining or getting your own,
Yeah.
sonic structure, so to
Yeah.
say.
Your own sound. Yeah,
Your
that's
own
yeah.
sound, right? But when do you understand ki, okay, this is my distinct sound? Because say, for example, for guitarists, there are so many pedals and like, effects that are available at disposal, like the instrument itself.
Yeah.
Like, there are so many different types of instruments, like in guitars itself, like pickups are different. I'm talking about electrics. When it comes to acoustic also, the bodies are different,
Yeah.
So when it comes to saxophone, uh, how many different types of saxophones are there? That is one.
Right.
Does each one differ from, like, sonically from each other? And then how do you understand, okay, this sax is for me? Like, when do you choose, okay, I want to go with this instrument, or
Right.
I want to go with that instrument?
Are you talking in terms of sound or range?
Both.
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 Okay. So range wise, I mean, you have you have the. So I play something called the alto saxophone, which is sort of mid range. Then you have soprano, which is high range. I mean, it's based on the voices only.
Yeah, yeah.
Then you have baritone sax,
Yeah.
which is low. You have tenor before that, which
Yeah.
is a lower one. So I'll talk high to low.
Yeah.
So soprano. You have sopranino also,
Oh,
which is there.
smaller one.
I've not actually seen a sopranino sax, so I don't know what it looks like. But I'm guessing it's a smaller one.
Yeah.
But you have you have sopranino, soprano, which is also you get two versions of the soprano, which is like a long one, a straight one, and then you have a curved soprano, which is a small alto basically.
So your granddad plays a soprano.
My granddad plays soprano now, but he used to play alto and he used to play tenor also before.
Okay.
Yeah. Then you have alto after that, which is mid range. You have tenor, which is like mid low range. Then you have the baritone sax, and you also used to have the bass sax.
Wow.
Yeah, which is huge. I mean, if you thought the baritone was big, the the bass sax used to be kept on a stand. They had to keep it on a stand. It was that big, and then you would have to climb 2 or 3 steps to actually like be able to play it.
Have you seen it?
I have not seen it, but my granddad has told me about it. I've seen a
Wow.
picture of it, but I've not seen an actual bass sax being.
Do they exist?
Maybe in a museum or something. I don't know if it's played anymore. But yeah, so that in terms of range is one thing, and then in terms of sound, you don't have different saxophones, but you have different setups. Right, so it depends what kind of a sound you're going for. For me, generally, I like a more warm sound. So that depends on the mouthpiece I'm using. Also depends on the saxophone. So when you try and buy a saxophone, you need to understand what kind of a sound you're going for. So I like a more dark, warm sound. So, like more husky and more soulful sort of a thing. I mean, you can play soulful stuff on a bright instrument also. So, yeah, I mean, if you check out guys like, say, Paul Desmond or Stan Getz, these guys had more of that kind of a sound, right? Whereas someone like, say, among the newer guys, maybe like Chris Potter or who else had like Michael Brecker, they had more of a bright sound. So bright sound is like more in your face.
Punch.
Yeah, more punchy, more projection.
Projection, yeah.
Yeah. So that depends on the setup you're using. So that's like your mouthpiece setup, what kind of a mouthpiece, whether it's like has a more larger chamber or a smaller chamber, or the tip opening. A larger tip opening would be like more bright. Sorry, more warm actually. So then, I mean, taking all these factors into consideration, then you can kind of pick your sax.
But this is about picking your sax. But then how do you understand, this is my sound? Like, how do people also understand, suppose Jarryd is playing, like from a distance.
Yeah.
Like if I know, this guitar is playing, I know, that guitarist is playing. Just from the sound and the tone of it.
Right.
Like from afar, this is Jarryd playing. Like, how do you understand that?
So yeah, that's developing your own sound, right? Which is not just about the instrument. Of course, instrument plays a crucial role. Knowing what instrument and setup you want to have, but it comes from developing your own sound is like the ultimate journey of a musician. Like it's like a pilgrimage sort of a thing. And to have that, it's like I think I'm still building on it. I don't think I have my sound yet. But it's something I'm striving towards. I think my granddad has it. Like, and some guys have it, like John Coltrane. I mean, a lot of the saxophonists who have worked on it do have it. Even musicians, not just saxophonists. That comes from, it's the process of learning. Like,
and practice.
So my granddad told me the way to kind of get that is listen first, imitate, and then develop your own sound. And then based off all that. So you're listening to the greats first. You're listening to who came before them, right? And trying to get to the root of it, trying to imitate them. So then he said second one is imitate. So transcribe solos, the way they are playing them, articulation, feel, all that phrasing, all that, right? And then incorporate into your playing because it automatically does get into your playing. And then take what you like off that and then you'll slowly try to, and you'll slowly kind of shape up into your, it
Own
slowly shapes up into
space.
your own
Yeah.
sound.
Yeah.
So I think that's what creates a very distinctive. And then of course adding your own personality to it, your own take on, just like your own way of expressing things.
Nice.
And then you slowly sort of develop into your own sound. Yeah.
Nice. For somebody who is new, say
Yeah.
suppose I'm a new bass player and I want to get into like jazz.
Yeah.
Okay. What are the first steps they should be looking at? Like how to get into playing with other musicians, right? Because music is best enjoyed in a group, right?
Yeah.
So, and like for example, me, I stay alone here in Thane,
Yeah.
like in terms of friends.
Right.
Like if I want to start something, and I'm sure there'll be many out there.
Yeah.
So what are these first steps that people, musicians who are practicing solo instruments or instruments in general, get into playing with other musicians and
Yeah, just
groups and all
just
that?
approach other musicians. I mean, you just have to take that step of like going, making yourself shown, and then say that, oh, like, I play the instrument, and then say, oh, why don't we like get together
But in
and
terms
jam?
of jazz,
Yeah, jazz also.
because there are I don't know how many are there, but very few jazz bands that are there, and whichever are there are like kind of pretty set, or
Right,
at least in my experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's more of a community thing. So I mean, you get in touch with these. I mean, you go and approach these musicians and say like, okay, why don't we just get
Hang.
together and hang sometime? Mainly, I mean, all you need, you need a just a group of musicians come together and then play. And then if you dig their playing and if they dig your playing, then you kind of can come together and form something. But it's about playing the music together. Like it's important to get together and jam this music, because just sitting at home and practicing is one thing, but then going and actually playing the music in the moment, feeding off other musicians is a completely different thing. Being on stage as well. So when you get together and play, then it becomes a sort of a camaraderie is formed. A bond is formed, and then that's how you get to know people. That's how you get to know that. That's how people can get to know that you play. Right. So it's important to take that first step and approach and say that, okay, let's just get together and jam sometime whenever.
nice. So like you said, you build that relation, or like you understand that chemistry, but it's a creative field.
Yeah.
And there will be differences.
Yeah.
So first of all, in your experience, do you find yourself in a space like that especially when you're playing with so many different bands, as a session player, or okay, I just can't understand or I'm not getting space, or they are like I'm not giving space, or something like that?
Right. So it's important to then understand your role. Right. Now, when it comes to being a session musician, I will follow what the main artist has to say, and because the main artist understands his or her music or their music, and then sort of they know. I mean, and then they have like specific roles for each day. They're not just going to put a sax player for the sake of it. Or they might also, but
Yeah.
but then it's important.
Have you been put for
Yeah.
the sake of it?
But then it's important to understand, what role you have to play, and then okay, fine, they'll just tell you, okay, just play some fillers here and there, or you have these spaces to play in these spaces. So at that time, I'm like, okay, I understand that this is what I'm brought in here for, and I will just stick to my role of playing. If I have suggestions, I will put them across. Right, but it's just a suggestion. It doesn't become like, oh, you have to do this. Like, I'm not getting enough to play, I want to play more. So add some more extra bars here.
Yeah.
It's a suggestion. We might try it or we might not try it out. The artist will say, oh, like, no, that's not how I see it. Fine, then it goes. If the artist incorporates it and like, okay, let's try and see if it works, great.
Amazing.
Yeah, but then you have to, in that case, you take the back seat and be like, okay, fine, I'm just gonna play, do what the artist requires of me, the main artist requires of me. Whereas if it comes to say many roots or my own music, then yeah, I mean, then of course I will, in a band setting, then I will make like my feelings known and then say, okay, we kind of need to put this here. And I will not enforce it, but then we'll definitely try it out. And the boys also like are very open to like trying different things out. So
Nice.
we'll try things out, and then if it works, it stays. If it doesn't work, it doesn't. Like, so there I have more of a say. But when I'm a session artist, it's important to like understand your role, and then of course, even if you're a band leader, or if you're the main artist, it's important for me. Like, I would like to listen to also what the other musicians have to say. So even if we get some session artists on board, like Anurag Naidu, he plays with us
Yes.
quite often, and he's a musician that I respect a lot. So I also like ask him about his inputs, what he thinks, and then if it works, and then take his suggestions and keep them in mind, and we'll try them out or not try them out. But it's important to also listen to your other musicians, and see what they have to say about the music
Nice.
as well.
So you are touring or you're playing now. The season will start. What's your practice routine like, especially when you are constantly on the road?
When I'm on the road, it's very difficult. But I think during sound check, then now that when I have my free time, it's morning, evening. Like,
2 times.
I'll do.
How many hours, minutes, days?
So about 3 hours in the morning, and then another 3 hours in the evening.
Wow, every day.
Every day, yeah. Maybe Sundays I'll take it off.
Wow.
Sundays is my chill day. Yeah. If my Sunday is free, then I'll.
So you practice
chill.
almost 5 to 6 hours a day.
5 to 6 hours a day. That's actually nothing than what like people used to do back in the day. Like, my granddad used to practice 12 hours. 8
Don't
to
your
12 hours.
fingers like hurt your mouth, your cheeks, and all of that?
You take breaks in between. So I mean, I've gotten used to like now 3 hours. I mean, after an hour, then I take like say a 5 minute break.
What do you practice in that hour? Like
So
how do you segregate?
Yeah, so I approach it in 4 different sections. So one is sound. So sound is like just trying to improve my own natural sound. So then work on things like long tones, on things like overtones. So these are things that help build your sound. To get a good tone, a good sound from the instrument, a consistent tone. So I say I'll give each exercise about 15 minutes.
Wow.
So I'll do like say 2 to 3 exercises, say 4 exercises for each thing. So that's about like an hour of each. So that's sound is one thing. Then articulation and phrasing. So articulation is things like tonguing, and slurring, playing legato, bending, all these different things. So that is another like thing that I approach. And then third is vocabulary and scales. So technique. So then practice my scales. Try to see how I can approach different things. Incorporate different things into my playing, like scale wise or chord changes wise, and things like that. And then it's just playing. Then I like to then like just pick a tune and then just play.
Wow. Do you still practice the same thing that you have practiced like 5, 7, 8, 10 years back?
I mean, scales is constant, right?
Like a major, minor, whatever, whichever scale,
Major,
like
yeah.
fancy scales,
Yeah.
this scale, that scale. You keep practicing all these different scales constantly.
Yeah, my arpeggio scales, intervals, all these things. I try to keep it constant.
How do they help in like?
Mainly with how fast your fingers move, but also forming melodies. Intervals form melodies. Scales form melodies. These are all fundamentals, right? To like building music or making a melody. So this is what I mean. This is the basic thing that you have to have
The
down.
bedrock of like,
Yeah,
starting
yeah,
to
you got to have these
Indian.
things
Yeah.
down, man. It's very important.
So, since we are talking about theory and scales and all of that, what is the single most theoretically crucial element that every jazz musician should definitely like start from or know?
Understand harmony.
Hmm.
So, uh, because you have to mainly play around chord tones and chord changes,
Hmm.
right? But also understanding rhythm is important,
Hmm.
like the swing element, right? Uh, a lot of people kind of struggle with it,
Hmm.
but time feel is very important in the music. It's something that I've struggled with
Really?
for like time before, like especially with my phrasing and stuff, and I've
Hmm.
been told to work on it. I feel I've gotten better with it. Can get better. I mean, there's
Yeah, there's
always room for
always
improvement.
a room for improvement.
But yeah, it's something that is very important also.
Hmm.
So time feel, understanding harmony, chord tones.
Hmm.
So what are chord tones are basically, you have different chords. I mean, yeah, you have your 1 3 5 or
Hmm.
your major chords, your minor chords. Also understand the extensions. You have major sevens, minor
Hmm.
sevens,
Hmm.
nines, 11s, sharp 11,
Yeah.
flat 13, all
Yeah.
that,
Blah, 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 blah. Never
right?
ending.
And that was something that was not always there in jazz, to be
Hmm.
honest.
Hmm.
It was something, jazz first was, yeah, mainly playing around the chord tones. Sorry, it was, yeah, like improvising and playing what you feel. And Charlie Parker sort of came up with bebop and then sort of introduced uh, chord extensions and improvising on the major sevens, major minor sevens, and then also not just that, but it introduced the language of bebop, which was also all these approach notes and enclosures. So what are approach notes are mainly like uh, notes that are surrounding the chord tones of the
Hmm.
scale. So
Hmm.
say you have a C major chord, the chord tones around that would be like C, E, G, right? Those are your chord tones.
Hmm.
And then what Parker would do was like play enclosures or approach notes around it. So approach note could be either a chromatic note up or below
Below.
that chord tone, or also could be the nearing the next scale note.
Wow.
So say it could be an F going to G, or it could be an F sharp going to G,
Hmm.
So he would end his phrases like that, and that would give it like a little bit more of a sort of a tension
Tension. Yeah.
resolution
Yeah. Yeah.
thing, right? So I mean, then yeah, and then it would be also about playing these phrases like really fast and at
Wow.
250 300 bpm.
Wow.
That was how Parker used to run.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the language kept on evolving. I mean, that was like a main sort of change
Hmm.
in the way jazz was played.
Hmm.
That's how bebop language was introduced. So yeah, it's understanding these things, like going back
Hmm.
to the greats and then understanding what their approach to the music was and how they were improvising.
Hmm.
You base your learnings of that only, like just by listening and transcribing and yeah, understanding these basic concepts of harmony and rhythm. Jazz, 2 5 1s is the most common thing.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask
Yeah,
you what is that. So if you have to explain this, like there are different progressions that are there,
yeah,
and 251 is like the most basic,
yeah,
like entry level,
yeah,
progression that is
yeah,
there. Like the first probably
yeah.
that you got to learn. So what, like, can you just explain what 251 progression is and like to a like as if I'm your disciple student, like please tell me, sir.
So yeah, so it comes 2 5 1 comes from the degree of the notes, right, in a particular scale. So if you take for example C major scale, uh, D would be your second degree, and five. So it's all the chords that are within that scale uh, that related to the root. So say for example we got C major. So in a C major scale, you would have a D minor chord, which is your two, which is the second degree. The fifth would be the G major scale or a G7 if you're taking the extension of it. And then coming back to the root, which is the one, which is a C major 7 scale. And I mean, yeah, a lot of jazz standards, what we spoke about earlier, jazz tunes, had a lot of these 2 5 1s happening. So even if it was like when it came to modulations, it would circle around 2-5-1s. You know, there'll be a lot of 2-5-1s. One prime example is you'll hear it in Autumn Leaves, you'll hear it in Fly Me to the Moon. You can even very common example, All the Things You Are, which is like it goes through 4 key changes, but it's got a bunch of 2-5-1s happening there, right? So yeah, I mean it's understanding again, it's playing around these changes. So what a 2-5-1 progression does is just helps you, it's just kind of a way of building the phrase and then resolving the phrase. So the 2 chord functions as like say a, yeah, I mean you start your phrase with that, and then the 5 is a dominant, which is kind of creates some tension, and then you come back to the root, which resolves.
Yeah.
So that's the, I think, yeah, the simplest way I think I could explain it. Which all falls in that C major scale only, but it's important to play around those chord tones because that's what creates the color of the chord, you know. So
Nice.
the 5 nicely resolves into the 1. And
How do you play the changes without running the scales?
play the changes without running the scales is understanding the changes,
Okay.
understanding the harmony, and hearing the harmony, and then you're just playing what you're listening to, like, you know, you're building phrases around that. Of course, first it's important to understand, like, play the changes. So what I normally do in practice notes is, for me, this is what I heard from a masterclass session that I went to, is the way that you can really learn a jazz standard or a jazz tune is if you can play the entire jazz standard on 8 notes, right? So if you can play 8 notes throughout the jazz standard and play them correctly, like hit the points, hit the chord changes, that's how you really like know. That's how you're really understanding the tune and really understanding the harmony. But then you're not going to play that in your solo, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you can play it also, but it has to make sense. So when you're soloing, then what that does is it helps you understand the harmony. Like, you really get to know, okay, these are what the changes are. And of course, when it comes to playing, then you're thinking, then you're playing what you're listening to, and then you're able to listen to those changes and then build phrases around that.
Got it. What are guide tones and how are they like very important when it comes to the chord changes?
Right. So guide tones are chord tones. Yeah, right. So it what forms the notes that form a chord basically. So if you have a C major scale, C, E, and G are your chord tones. If you have a D minor scale, D minor chord, D, F, and A are your chord tones. And yeah, because these notes are what determines the nature of the chord or the color of the chord. You got to play around these to really kind of indicate just indicate like what the tune is or like what it's about, and that you're, you know, with the tune. So it then forms a trajectory sort of.
Got it. Now there is theory side, and then there is the just the listening side and understand transcribing from there.
Yeah.
But when you start picking an instrument, obviously theory comes into the picture.
Yeah.
And you start, now resources are available online, offline, whatever. So what is the biggest theoretical trap that like young musicians fall under in your experience?
Theoretical trap in the sense I don't
like in the
understand.
sense ki, okay, you have to follow this, or like this theory is the most important, or like ye aana hi chahiye. Like for example, modes,
Yeah.
right? Like there are so many different ways of approaching it, right? But then like a lot of people say that, okay, this is the correct way, that is the correct way, or this is how you should do it, that is how you should do it. It's very important to practice modes, but sometimes like you don't, like how do you dumb this down, like?
Right. I mean, are you saying like which was a challenging concept to explain to?
No,
Is it-
so
no.
how do I explain? See, we say when I was growing
Yeah.
as a musician, so I had a fear of like say seventh when it comes to going from like major minor to seventh chord notes.
Okay.
Right, like,
Okay.
major 7, minor 7s and all of that. I'm like, oh, that'll open like a whole new plethora of things, which it did. Um, and before that, I was just playing like, my one, like my first, four and fifth, like all the happy,
Yeah.
like, pop,
Yeah. Yeah.
that
Yeah.
to get into like playing. And once I got that, then I went into something. So then when you like kind of are thinking of, this player is playing amazing and how is he doing this and all of that. Um, so these were the theory traps that I was falling into, right? Just as a young musician,
Because you
I had
weren't
made
able
a,
to do sevens.
yeah, I had made a big thing out of it,
Right. Right.
right? So any things that you have, okay, what is a major, this thing?
Not really. I
Okay,
mean.
let's just skip this. So when it comes to, like, one last thing I want to ask you about improvisation, when
Yeah.
it comes to theory guided approach versus, like, listening approach, what according to you is a great balance between the both? Like, would you rather back the theory side approach towards improvisation, or like ear guided approach towards improvisation?
I think both need to go hand in hand.
Okay.
Right. You have to have a good ear, and you gotta also kind of develop your skills and technique and theory. I think, see, theory helps you understand those things and helps you develop your ear. Right. It's more like a guide has to
Yeah.
uh, guide as to like what your ear should be listening to or picking up, and uh, what do you need to be playing. But it's not like a blueprint, right? You
Yeah.
have to trust your ear.
Yeah.
Then, so it's important, I think, yeah, to have a strike a great balance between these things. And what the best way to go about that is, I think, like, yeah, whatever theory you're going through. Now, say, like, for example, if I'm learning a 2-5-1 approach, I would want to sit with this, play the chords, and see how each chord sounds like, how my ears are being receptive to that, and trying to understand why this makes sense.
Got
So the only way you'll understand it, how it makes sense, is when you actually you actually listen to it,
into it.
right? Because that's what music is about.
Yeah.
Even when it came to, like, say, pitching or something, you're so used to now we're so used to looking at tuners and seeing if you're in pitch.
Yeah. You're not relying.
You're not relying on your ear, but it's important to hear it actually. So when I'm practicing long tones and something, okay, fine, I'll see if I'm in pitch first. I'll see what it sounds like, and then try and play it back and see, oh, is this like the same feeling that I had before, and tune your ears to that. So it's important to understand it also, like, understand the theory side of things, because that'll help you uh, develop your skills and technique, and all that, help you have a better understanding. But ultimately your ears is what's going to get the yeah, I mean, you have to rely on that ultimately.
I want to ask you, saxophone is a solo instrument, but it also plays a crucial part in a horn section, right?
Yeah.
How does it impact a song as a solo instrument and as a section?
Yeah, the approaches are different. So horn section, it's more of like a supporting role, where you're playing like just selected parts. Arrangements are usually written. Usually you'll have something called it's more stab based. So it's like kind of like playing a keyboard, So you'll have like stabs, or you'll have legato lines, uh, and stuff like. And it'll only be in certain pockets, not everywhere in the song. Even with solo, for example, but then solo you'll have like more fillers. You'll probably have fillers in there, or you'll just have a solo section where you're doing your own thing. Either you're playing a written out solo, or you're playing, which is called a soli.
Soli.
Or you'll play a solo, which is like your own take on the thing, right? You'll be given a space to, and even fills sometimes could be written out for you, or could be. So yeah, there it differs in the way, I think, in terms of how much you're playing. I think if you're playing on a solo recording, the lines might be a little bit more busy, so more phrases or long phrases. Whereas with a horn section, you're just like, they're just there for impact, like, so there'll be swells, and then there'll be uh, stabs, which are mainly like in harmony,
Got it.
right? So I think, yeah, that's mainly like a solo versus horn section thing.
So you have played with different genres. What was the difference between playing for a live band versus playing for a with an ensemble versus playing solo, versus or with a backing track,
Yeah.
versus playing on a DJ set? You
Yeah,
have
I have done that,
played
obviously.
quite a
Yeah,
bit,
of
right?
course.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Those
so
also can, I mean, those also are very enjoyable gigs.
yeah.
Yeah, because you're just playing. So playing with the DJ, you're playing in pockets. You're not playing like,
Yeah.
and you're trying to think of like some sort of catchy phrase to play that goes with the tune. But you're mainly playing in like pockets and not always playing over the song. Because there's so much happening in the song
Yeah.
already. It's like a whole
Yeah.
track being played.
It's
So
like a produced track and you are putting one more element on top of
yeah.
it. Yeah.
So there also you need to play in certain spaces. You have some certain spaces where you can just play certain licks or phrases. There. Whereas in a band setting, you'll probably have a role and you'll have certain parts to play. Either you're playing the lead part, you're playing the theme, or if there's a singer involved, you're playing fills, you're playing solos. So yeah, the approach is obviously, yeah, it's always going to be different, but it's important to, in each of these situations, it's important to understand like what your role is, and like really listen to the music and then take a call, based off on that.
When it comes to performing with so many different people and like constantly traveling, of course your health takes a toll.
Yeah.
Like you have wild schedules in terms of next flight, next show,
Yeah.
especially during season time.
Yeah.
What are the few of the basic health checks that you keep in mind? And also there is like, there are a bunch of like lot of junk food that you get,
Yeah.
which is free junk food
Yeah.
backstage, whatever. Lot of like, drinks that
Yeah.
that you're offered,
Yeah.
So how do you keep yourself in check in terms of health and sleep?
Right. I'm actually a very bad person to ask that question too.
Okay.
But main thing is, yeah, my sugar. Like I don't try to I have much sugar during the day. So even now when I'm at home, I just have half a teaspoon of sugar in my chai.
Chai boy.
Yeah, chai boy. But that's all I'll have. So keeping sugar levels to try and reduce that. Yeah, your timings also go like all over the place, but I think the most important thing to catch on is sleep.
Yeah.
Like,
That's what I was coming to. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, how do you fill in those pockets of sleep?
Yeah, wherever you get a chance, just sleep.
Yeah.
That's all. That's all, man. Because because your body's gonna take a toll, obviously. So it's important to whenever
Rest.
it's just important to rest. Rest is the number one thing. Like even when it comes to anything, like to have a good mindset, to have a good to be fresh. Even when it comes to building muscle or whatever, like
Rest is
recovery. I mean,
Recovery, yeah.
that's what helps. So yeah, just letting your body rest, your heartbeat, get its pace down. I think that's what's most important.
Amazing. So I'm going to ask you one last question. Okay. And I want to address the elephant in the room, which is AI. And how has that changed your work?
Right.
And how has it affected in a healthy way, unhealthy way? Because I mean, see, there were VSTs that were there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and before VSTs came into picture, they were like literally people were called to the studio.
Yeah, yeah.
VST came, a lot of that kind
Yeah.
of took a toll.
Yeah.
And now AI has come in, and a lot of VST and like the musicians as well have taken kind of a hit. So how do you see this pan out in the future?
I think I don't think, I hope not, because music is always going to be a very personal and also like a very soul induced art form, like it's any art form. There's always for an art form to really matter, it's got to have character. It's got to have soul in it. And I don't think that AI is going to be able to replicate that. So, I mean, you listen to Wanlings, you listen to, all these bands that really have great expression of music. I mean, there is so much soul and so much feeling put into it. You're not going to be able to replicate that with AI in any way. VSTs still can't do that.
Yeah.
I mean, you listen to a sax VST,
Yeah.
and you can't take it, right, because there's no emotion, that there's no feeling in it,
There's no, yeah.
right? Even, I mean, I use VSTs for, like, maybe when I'm writing, when I'm just in the writing phase of thing, just to have things down, to sort of create a demo, or just see how the song is going to sound like. But I'm not going to record in VSTs. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe MIDI or something, and then like pick an instrument or something out of that. But that's also when it comes to, say, strings or keyboards or stuff like that, but not with sax or drums for that matter. So yeah, I mean, AI can, there's all this whole talk of a takeover and all that happening, but I don't think like soul and
Yeah,
feeling
feel
can
can-
be replicated,
Yeah.
or
That's true.
what do you call it? Sort of, just basically that it can't be generated.
Generated.
Yeah.
I've known you as a supporting
Yeah.
or a lead this thing. Are there any plans of releasing your own music?
I would ultimately like to. I don't have anything as of yet. I mean, I do have a few compositions of my own, but not something that I've like wanted to take on a major scale. Pun intended.
Major scale.
But yeah, I mean, if the opportunity, I mean, if I feel like there is something that I really want to put out, I will do it on my own. Which I think I'll probably will in the future.
What does that future look like?
I don't know. Whenever it happens, it happens. Is what
Nice.
that's the approach
Because
I'll
I'm
take.
sure it's like things like from now, like it's already pretty hectic, right?
Yeah.
And it's just gonna get better and
Yeah,
better and
yeah.
better and more hectic
hopefully.
and more hectic and more hectic. So when do you find time for your own music?
Now, I mean, this is like off season is the perfect time to do it. I think this off season has been very like, it has been actual off season. Like, it's been
Okay.
really off.
Actual off season.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, usually you would have some things here and there which has come across, but like, I've really had the time now to like sit and
Work on your
work
own
on my
thoughts.
own craft and write some stuff also, and write stuff for the many roots, or write stuff, even some of my own tunes. But yeah, recording them is a whole other thing, right? Because you really want to see that, okay, like how do I, and now I'm trying to think of like more like large scale, like
Got it.
if I want to do a song, then I probably want to do a music video, and I want to do
Wow. Go all in or nothing.
yeah, it's something like that. Like if I come to that point, then I'll probably think of doing it, or like in putting an EP out, or then thinking of a concept. If I really want to do it solo, then think of a concept and stick to that concept and build a whole like identity out of it.
What will your genre be?
I don't know, just music.
Just music. I can go everywhere.
It can go anywhere, man, because I have so many. I like all different kinds of music. It's not just
Nice.
jazz, right? It's I grew up listening to pop.
Yes,
Then I also-
everyone did.
Yeah. I also had a rock phase, like a Linkin Park, Green Day, punk rock, emo
Nice.
phase, electronic music phase. Also, I had.
Wow.
But I like listening to all different kinds of music, and in a way, maybe that incorporated into my own music. Like, yeah, why not?
Amazing. Oh man, long conversation. But I'd love to ask you some rapid fire questions to end this.
Yeah,
Yeah. Game.
yeah, game.
Cool. Favorite all-time saxophone solo.
Wow. Okay, favorite all-time saxophone solo. Would be probably. Man, it's tough. There's so many nice ones. Does it have to be rapid?
Okay.
Like, can I name a few?
Yeah.
Okay, so like the old time ones, I can remember this. John Coltrane on My Shining Hour. Uh, then I would say Cannonball Adderley on That There. These are solos I've transcribed, so that's why I'm naming them.
Okay.
Uh, then Braxton Cook
Mhm.
on Of a New Cool. He's a new guy.
Mhm.
I like, yeah. There's one I've not transcribed but I really enjoy is on Nate Smith's record. It's called Square Wheels. It's by this saxophone player called Jaleel Shaw.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Nice.
These are ones that I can think of right now.
Okay, I before going deeper into rapid fire, I have one more question to ask you.
Yeah.
Saxophone is for pop musicians is often associated to one big artist, and you know who I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
That smile only gave it away.
Yeah. And also, kind of, you hear it in all the elevators.
Yeah.
What's your take on that? I mean, of course, the world is like way, way, way beyond. Why do you think that he kind of made it to that particular magnitude? And yeah.
Because he found a way to relate to people, man, and that's also like great. You know, you have to. I mean, that's what art is about. Also, is getting through
Yeah.
to people. I mean, yeah, people will call it easy listening, and so, which it is. But you know, he was able to translate it. He was able to capitalize of it. You know,
Who are we talking about?
Kenny G. He's great. I mean, yeah, he can play. Huh? I've heard him play over changes and giant steps and stuff like that, dude. He can play. It's not that he can't. He can, but he chooses this because I mean he's found his thing. He's found his something that
Sound.
Yeah, and something that he can that works with the people. And if you're able to get through to people if you're able to get through people like that,
Yeah.
that in itself is quite an achievement.
Yeah.
It's what an artist should also. I mean, it's one of the things that the artist should
Yeah.
be, you know, looking to do
Yeah.
is to get through to your audience. Yeah.
Nice. Cool. Back to rapid
Rapid
fires.
fire, okay.
Okay, one song that you never get tired listening of.
So many, man.
Okay, never get tired playing.
Never get tired of playing, dude, man. I just love too much. Yeah. Never get tired of playing which tune? Man, you put me on a spot here. I really have to think. Okay, maybe Confirmation by Charlie Parker.
Okay, cool. The most memorable place you have ever performed.
Oh, that would be Wembley.
Oh, yeah?
The Wembley Arena, which is like this, the second largest stadium in.
Yeah.
It's the second largest place in Wembley. I think it's called Ovo Arena. in
When did you
Wembley.
play there?
I played there. I had the chance of playing there with Adnan Sami, who's a great
Wow.
Indian composer and musician.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this happened in 2023. Yeah, it was a
Recently
great
only.
gig also. Yeah, it was a
So-
great gig.
Okay, now it's rapid fire. I won't ask any more questions. What's a quirky habit that you have before a show? Or like, what's your routine before a show?
Routine before a show, okay. Just warming up. Yeah, so like, yeah, I don't like to keep my instrument out, so I'll always pack it up. And so it's setting up the instrument, making sure I'm properly warmed up. Long tones if possible, because getting my pitching right, having my iPad out or my charts out. That's it. Yeah, I mean, it's a very, very common, not a very hardcore warm up routine, but it's like, yeah, mainly making sure that, yeah, my breathing is in place and I'm warmed up, like my throat is properly warmed up. So long tones, maybe just fingers running up down the instrument to get the feel of it. Yeah, that's it.
One best piece of advice that you have received.
Best piece of advice that I've received. Practice.
Practice and rest.
Yeah.
And
And listen. Yeah.
listen. Okay. If you had to jam with any musician in the world, living or dead,
So Nate Smith would be one guy.
Hmm.
He's a great drummer.
Hmm.
Another guy would be maybe Kiefer,
Hmm.
who's an amazing keyboard player. Also, dead would be, yeah, who's passed away, Coltrane,
Okay.
uh, Cannonball Adderley, maybe Wayne Shorter. That, yeah.
Nice. Um, One thing that you can't live without on tour.
Can't live without on tour. My instrument. I mean, no, just
I mean,
kidding.
without your saxophone.
One thing I can't live without on tour.
Like that's the first thing that you pack.
My headphones.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
What's the one musical trend that you hope that it never comes back?
Musical trend that never comes back. Dinchak Puja, but I think that's already gone.
Which one?
Dinchak Puja, maybe.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I mean, she has this whole cringe pop phase, no?
Oh, okay.
No. That's musical trend which was there. That I don't know, dude. I'm not liking the trends now. Also,
Yeah. Would you jam in a bus, rickshaw, or a lift?
bus,
Yeah. Why?
lift acoustics would suck. I
Okay.
think.
And it's pretty common for a saxophone. Okay. If your life had a background score, what genre would it be?
What genre it would be? I think very like hardcore. Like I mean, it would be like some heavy jazz, like with lots of phrasing happening. I think like a Kamasi Washington record or something. Because
Okay.
I think I'm a very anxious person in general.
Okay. What is the most stupidest thing that people have said to you?
Yeah, jazz has to have a saxophone in it or a horn in it. It's the
Okay.
most stupid thing that I've
Okay.
heard.
Would you rather have a world with no music at all or one track only playing on loop all the time?
With no music, yeah, one track.
Really?
Can't do without music, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you rather read somebody's diary or would you go through their internet search history?
Internet search history would be more exciting.
If your life had a warning label, what would it be?
My life had a warning label, what it would be. Man, I'm bad with these.
What's one weird habit that when no one's watching, you're doing? I know you thought of one.
Maybe shaking my legs, I don't know. Yeah, that's what I do a lot.
What's the silliest thing that you have done to have a good laugh?
Probably must have been something, I don't know. Can't think of it.
Okay. What's the weirdest food that you love, but people find it like damn weird? Like, how can you have that with this or this?
Oh, recently I had this like, does beverage also count?
Yeah.
So it was this lemon tea that that you get. So basically mornings when I go to play football, when I just finished, there's like this chai stall there, and he serves this lemon tea which has like jeera masala in it and some ginger and honey, and I really enjoy that, dude. But I made a friend try it and he instantly hated it, and he's like, "How can you drink this?"
Wow.
So that's probably one.
But what can be more weirder than this? Like, for example, Maggie with chai.
Oh,
or
like that.
dipping your biscuit in a ketchup.
Oh, I'm not done. Maybe I've done like popcorn and ketchup.
Okay, fine.
That's one.
One piece of advice that you always give your fellow musicians or your juniors but you never follow.
Oh, that I never follow.
I know you're quite a obedient boy that way. But like generally should I wish I also followed that.
I don't know.
No.
No.
Okay. Generally, what is one piece of advice that you give?
Okay, I mean, you sit with your instrument, man, or sit with your voice. Practice. Practice. Yeah. Listen, learn.
Nice. Anything else that you want to add to end the
Yeah.
podcast? That's it.
Yeah.
Done talking is to
Yeah.
Malay. He's just going on asking questions.
No, man, no, man. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And
Thanks,
with
Malay.
that, we have come to the end of yet another incredible episode. A huge thank you to my guest, Jarryd, for not only sharing his incredible talent, but his humility and wisdom. We could have talked about jazz theory, about improvisation, like on and on, but I think we'll stop it here. And you can find Jarryd's work and upcoming tour dates on by following him on his Instagram handle, which is Jarryd Rodrigues.
Yeah.
And you'll find all the links in the description below. Do subscribe to Sound Dada. Thank you all for tuning in and listening. If you have enjoyed this episode, please leave a comment below and share it with a friend. It's the best way to help us keep bringing amazing artists like Jarryd. Until next time, keep listening, keep creating. This is Malay, and it has been an amazing episode with Jarryd. Thank you once again. See you.